Hello and welcome back to the Minorities Report. I'm Chris.
I'm corrupt.
A lot of bad shit's happened.
Yes, it
What
has.
a terrible way to end the last few months of this year. We've just had some really bad stuff. I think there's only going to be one good thing we're kind of talking about. You're like kind of about it, but I feel like it's the only good thing we're going to be talking about.
Santa Inc.
Spider-Verse.
That's what Santa Inc.
Santa Inc.
Chris is looking forward to Santa Inc. He really does.
I am not going to watch that.
You don't want to watch it for the podcast?
No. But we're going to be getting to that one shortly with that and what the two stars of it have been saying. Spider-Verse 2. We knew that this was coming out. And it released recently they released a short preview of what's happening. Miles is reunited with Gwen. Little cute interaction. But the main one, Miles versus Spider-Man 2099. Miguel O'Hara. And he's jacked.
He is.
He's big in this.
He looks like Venom.
Bossly. Yeah, he's like, his body type is now Venom for some reason.
Yeah, he's like a big boy for some fucking reason.
Yeah, fucking Miles Morales getting beaten up by Poe Dameron. Remember, that's who is voicing Miguel. Oscar Isaac. Poe Dameron, or Duke Leto from Dune.
Are you excited?
I am. I really enjoyed Into the Spider-Verse. I think it was probably the best Miles story we've had, considering it. Let's be honest. Outside of Ultimate, who really cares about Miles?
Yeah, Miles does not have a lot of stories.
He is just, what if we just did, even though they did this also in Ultimates, he's just, what if Peter was black and a teenager again?
Pretty much, yeah.
There's not much you can do with Miles, and with this one, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Into the Spider-Verse quite a lot, so I'm pretty excited for the sequel. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, because it's a bit worrying. It's like, oh, don't let this be another hero versus hero thing. I'm hoping that's not what the actual plot is. It's like, oh, Miles, you've done something bad. I have to stop you.
It kind of does seem like it with the way. You know what I think they'll do? I think they'll do a misunderstanding plot where it was all just like one big misunderstanding, and the true villain will be revealed.
Yes. Oh no, it's the true villain. It was Disney.
It was Disney all along!
It was Disney all along. Which leads us to, unfortunately, getting a Shang-Chi sequel.
Who could have saw that coming?
Literally everyone. Which is funny, because when it was announced, Simu Liu, the one who plays Shang-Chi, posted about it, just like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something along the lines of, we're getting a sequel to a film that flopped.
He's so bitter.
Technically, it did flop, didn't it?
Yeah.
It barely made its money back.
Yeah, it didn't make its monies back. Yeah, monies.
And you shouldn't be proud of a flop getting a sequel because it's MCU.
Pretty much.
They don't care about quality.
Basically, I don't even see why he's like trying to dunk on people. Your movie barely made its money. Your movie barely made its money back. It just now made its money back.
Let's see. Box office. It made about just a little over double its budget.
Seriously.
Budget was 150 to 200 million. The box office 432.
That's it for an MCU movie? Wow.
Yep.
Your movie barely made its budget
I'm not
back.
surprised, because who cares about Shang-Chi?
Seriously, your movie barely...
Magic martial arts guy.
Your movie...
We already had one. He was called Iron Fist, and his fucking Netflix show was terrible.
Seriously.
You really think anyone else, aside from MCU sheep, are going to care?
Your movie barely made its money back, and you're up here bragging like, nigga, please.
I don't care. No one cares about Shang-Chi.
Pretty much, except for MCU sheep who'll eat up anything. Everybody else. Yeah. That's why your movie barely made its fucking budget back, bitch.
He is a nothing character.
Played by a nothing actor.
Like, there's not much to Shang-Chi. He's probably better in the comics, but like, he's so he's essentially obscure. No one really knew Shang-Chi until now.
And
Let's just say that.
And it doesn't help that like the actor Simu Lee is just incredibly fucking uninteresting.
Worst lead that did not care about his storyline at all. There was no weight. There was no emotional resonance or whatever.
Not really. It was just
there was nothing. There was literally nothing
he was just
to any of the characters there.
He was just kind of a boring. He was just kind of a boring character that just sort of went along with everything that was happening.
Yeah, there was no real arc for him. There was no low point where he had to rise back up.
Yeah,
there really wasn't.
He never really changed as a character. He started out the same way. He started out like the same as we met him, and he ended the same as we met him. He didn't really change much.
It's only that, oh, now I have rings.
That's pretty much it.
That's it. That is it. And actually, speaking of MCU, this actually reminded me of something. Did you hear who they are bringing back into the MCU officially?
What was that?
Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
the Netflix one.
Oh yeah,
Charlie Cox, I think was the actor's name.
Yeah,
he's officially, because I don't know why it was weird that like, oh, the Netflix stuff that they're with the MCU branding, but then they decide because it all failed in the end. It's like, oh, we're not going to count them in the canon anymore.
Yeah, like
despite the fact they make quite a few references to
like
the MCU.
Like I know, like Luke, like it's interesting too because like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones weren't even mentioned, but like Luke Cage but Daredevil, yeah, like we'll include that guy. Not those other losers though; they suck.
To be fair, I feel like it's because out of the 4 characters that have had the Netflix series, Daredevil's was the most successful.
Yeah,
it had the first 2 seasons are good. I think it really drops at the 3rd. I'd even say it even drops kind of in half the last half of the 2nd season, but I still think it's a somewhat good season. The first season is amazing. It's one of the best of MCU Netflix. I can see why they decided to go with Daredevil.
And
because Jessica Jones, good first season, terrible 2nd season.
And Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, nothing ever happens.
Yeah, Luke Cage, first season, I would say is kind of mixed. And it's also the same with the 2nd. I think the only thing I liked with the 2nd was the villain. What was his name? Bushmaster or Bush, whatever it was called?
Yeah, Bushmaster.
Like, I liked that villain in that season. But and then Iron Fist was just bad. Both seasons were just bad. Bushmaster, that's the
Bushmaster, the villain, yeah. And then I remember that he didn't he get killed by Copperhead?
Who Iron Fist?
No, Bushmaster.
I can't remember. Let's go television. No, he just leaves. He gets defeated and he just leaves. It's been a while since I've watched Luke Cage. With good reason, because I don't really care about Luke Cage. But I don't know. It says here he just leaves. And yeah, Iron Fist was just bad. And because they got an actor who just did not care about doing any of the basic martial arts stunts.
Oh yeah, isn't that why he got replaced by a girl who's the
Colleen? Yeah,
by Colleen. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the 2nd season because he was just terrible to work with.
And he also kept making excuses. He also kept apologizing for being a white dude on Twitter. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, because Iron Fist that has
what?
But the character is white. They weren't whitewashing Iron Fist because the character is white in the source material.
Exactly. Oh my god! But Asians are for kung fu, and kung fu is for Asians.
Oh yeah, that's very because that's not racist at all.
Exactly. Don't you want your kung fu representation, Chris?
No, I'm alright. But yeah, MCU Daredevil, Netflix Daredevil is now at least Daredevil. I don't know if they're gonna bring in Kingpin, but I feel like they will.
Oh yeah, didn't they mention Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yeah, I think. Maybe Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is also canon now because I feel like he did a really good job as Kingpin in that series as well. So I feel like you can't really have one without the other at this point.
Like, so now we're gonna have like the fucking. That's interesting, and I remember reading an article or hearing an article, and it said something along the lines of like Charlie Cox will be was always the only Daredevil for them, and he'll be the only Daredevil in the MCU.
Yeah, it also makes it easier. You don't have to recast. You have the actor. Let's get him back.
Exactly. Get us Charlie Cox back. Get us Daredevil. Let us see Daredevil in the MC fucking U.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
you know what's funny?
That's the only good stuff we're talking about today.
You know what's funny?
Two good things.
You know what's funny about that? What's funny about all of this? The fact that you are like you're excited about Spider-Verse 2, but you don't give a shit about Spider-Man.
No Way Home.
No. Yeah.
I mean, we won't really talk about it, but the soundtrack was leaked apparently. At the list, and there are spoilers. I'm not going to say anything about it.
Okay, what?
It kind of spoils some stuff.
Wait, does it spoil who's in the movie?
Maybe. Also, kind of spoils something that happens there in the film.
This is
I don't know if this leak is true or not, but
this is for No Way Home, right?
Yeah.
Yo, send me the leak.
I'll send it to you.
That way I'll spoil it on that way I'll spoil it for everybody.
No. On to the terrible. What do you want to talk about first? GTA?
Let's talk about GTA. Like let's go in slow and then let's go in slow, you know, with the bad news.
Slow.
Yeah.
So Vice City, GTA 3 and San Andreas recently they were all re-released in a bundle called the Definitive Trilogy, I think. Probably aside from 4 and 5, they are probably one of the most popular GTA games. I have some fond memories of playing those three, especially
San Andreas.
3 in San Andreas. Yes.
God, San Andreas was so good.
But when they released it, it was not good. The quality of it was really fucking bad. The rain effects in GTA 3 were god awful to look at. The physics of like some of the models just went out of whack because apparently they didn't use the original games as the basis for the remaster.
Yeah, they used
apparently
the port.
they used the mobile port. And people were able to figure this out because in San Andreas, the weightlifting area, like mini game, it's made in it's different in the mobile version compared to the console or PC versions. And they were able to figure out, okay, these are actually at least for just San Andreas, but probably for all of them, these were the mobile ports that they remastered. And they shoved it off to like I think they said it was like an Indian company.
Yeah, it's the same company.
They just shoved it off.
That handles the mobile game, I think.
Yeah, and they also had like an AI. They used an AI to upscale everything, which is unfortunate because a lot of the jokes are puns. Like a lot of like some of like the stores or signs are all puns.
Yeah.
So if you have an AI is not going to register that. So it just looks bad when it's upscaled. So it's so hilarious how bad it was. Like I only played through 3 because I think I had more fond memories of 3. 3's probably I'm not a big GTA guy, but 3 was my favorite to play.
The character models, Chris. The character models.
The character model looks just they look so bad.
Which
is weird because like a lot of people had these weird expectations because they thought they were thinking they were getting like remake details. Like no, this is a remaster. It wasn't even really a remaster. It still looks bad.
Yeah, the characters are all
you're not getting like Demon Souls remake level of quality. Like you're expecting too much from a remaster.
Yeah, like essentially it's along the lines of something like SMT, like Nocturne, right? where
Yeah.
Nocturne was remastered. It was basically the same game with some added
Just touched
features
up.
and touched up.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's basically what you got with this. The problem, though, is that it looks so bad. And it was
Yes.
a
They put
remaster.
no effort.
Because what they did was, what I understand is they took the mobile version, and that's the version that they used.
Yep.
And you can see how bad it looks. Not to mention, like, a lot of things just look generally like terrible. Like the game
Yeah.
crashes. The game, like the models look really weird and stretched out, and they
Yeah,
look really
sometimes even the
freakish.
models didn't even appear. Like when I first played the GTA 3 one, like the opening cutscene, there were no models inside of the cars. And apparently that was a bug. One of my other friends, Jacob, he was playing it, but he got the models. I randomly stumbled upon a bug where the models just did not appear inside of the cars.
There's also something called Sprunk, that like the soda or whatever, and apparently if you drink a lot of it, it can crash the game.
Like, yeah, and from what last I heard, I think they did release a patch. I don't know how much they fixed of it, but it's really sad that we now live in a time where we can't get games out that are properly finished. They
No,
have
we
to be
can't.
patched later on.
We have to get, instead of
Yeah,
getting it. Go ahead.
like Cyberpunk 2077. That was a mess when that came out. It's like, oh no, we're gonna do. Okay, we're sorry. We're gonna start patching all these things. Like, no, you should have just. It should have been fucking like good from the get go. Considering how many times you pushed it back.
There's honestly no excuse for how. There's no excuse for the way, for the condition it was, for the condition it was in.
Yeah,
None
like
whatsoever.
don't come in saying, oh sorry, we're gonna have to push it back. We want some more time on it. We want to make sure it's perfect, and then it comes out and it's not. Like, should have just kept on.
You know what's funny?
Going.
They, you know what's funny? They doubled that, after they stopped doubling down on like this, on after they stopped doubling down on the, what they did. They apologized in this like cyberpunk. You know the way the guys for Cyberpunk 2077 apologized. Like they
Yeah.
did that. They did that basically.
Yeah, it's
But then,
yeah, so
after a doubling down on it and saying, "Oh, this is a great fucking game," blah 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 blah. No, it's not. It's fucking trash.
no.
You gave us a trash port of a fucking mobile game, because that's what we got. We got the fucking mobile version, Chris.
Yeah. And the fact that originally they delisted the original games. So if you wanted to play it, you would have had to get this new one. Unless you had like the physical copies already. Like they delisted the digital copies from like Steam and I think like Xbox Marketplace or whatever. So you would have had to, unless you had physical copies, you would have, if you wanted to play these games, you would have had to get the definitive trilogy. Thankfully, after this fucking shit show, they decided to relist them back. Honestly, just as much as they might be janky because they're products of their times, they're much better games than this remaster, quote unquote remaster.
Pretty much. And honestly, like old games, you know what? They might have been older games. They might not look as good as they do, as like games do now. But at least, like you said, they fucking work. They function. They serve the purpose they were meant to serve.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'd say regardless of whether it's fixed or not, don't buy it. They're at least smart enough to allow refunds. They didn't just double down. They're just like, oh well, you bought it. Oh, sucks to be you, loser.
It's like the fucking. It's like how Sony delisted Cyberpunk 2077 from its stores. Like when they were like, "Oh, this thing is trash. Let's get rid of it."
Yep. You want refunds? We'll give them to you. Yep. So, GDA bad trilogy. Who cares?
Like,
Um,
what's really sad about that is that, like, we still don't have a decent port of GTA.
yeah. I mean, the original games are on Steam, and that they've relisted back. Play them again.
Yeah, like that's the part. That's the sad thing about it.
Yeah.
Like we have.
I wish we can get ports of like other games. Like having played Nocturne, I want to play fucking Raito's games, Devil Summoner, like
So do
Raito.
I. Yeah.
But they're only on the PS2 or emulators.
And like the
Or play any of like the other like SMT games.
Oh, you know what you'd like?
'Cause four is only on the DS or emulators. But if you want to get the physical copies, they're fucking going for like what, $400?
Yeah, they're like really fucking
200?
expensive.
Yeah, just like come on,
Yo, Chris,
do it.
Chris, you know it's funny.
Stop sucking Persona's dick and fucking release some like some Mega 10 stuff.
Seriously, because like you know what you'd really like, Chris? You would really
What?
like Digital Devil Saga. I think you would.
I probably would.
Basically,
Isn't that is also the game that started the whole Demi Fiend is the hardest JRPG boss.
yes, it is. Because he is
I probably
really
would,
hard.
yeah.
He's a really hard fucking boss. Also, you'd really dig the atmosphere. It's very laid back, and the story is interesting. So essentially, like you get infected with like a virus that turns you and your squad into demons, and then you eat other people in order to survive and get stronger.
Okay.
Like they even like the opening is so graphic. Basically, like when the game starts, you and your team turn into like mutate into demons, and you start like eating other people. You just like take chunks out of them and shit as you like eat them alive. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's such a departure from
Come on,
the
Atlas.
other games.
Come on, Nintendo. Re-release them. Port them.
I really wish they would. Also, I wish Nintendo would like. Also, I wish they would make a PC version of fucking SMT5 because I really want to fucking play this on the fucking PC and use it for gameplay for videos. Because I don't have a capture card and I don't know how much that shit costs.
They're like, I know here they're like $300 something.
God damn it!
Pretty pricey. Good, but pricey.
I just want to fucking record video. I just want to record video. God damn. And I don't even know. Like,
yeah. So, continuing video game talk, Resident Evil.
yay!
They just cannot fucking do any good Resident Evil films.
Okay, here's my question. Isn't it out? Didn't it come out
It's
already?
out. It is out.
Oh my god, when?
It came out late November.
Wow.
You would not have known that because they did hardly any promotional material for this. Because I feel like they knew this was going to be terrible.
Yeah, they knew it was gonna be trash.
Yeah, so Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is yet another adaptation of the Resident Evil games. We had the six, I think it was the six terrible Paul W.S. Anderson films.
Yes.
Actually, I'm being kind of mean. The first one is at least somewhat good. It's not perfect, but I would prefer it over like the next 4 to 5.
Would you like to know something about this movie? It was made on a budget of 25 million and it earned 13 million domestically.
Oof. Oh, it looking at its box office, it hasn't even met its budget back. 24.6 million. It's just under its budget. It did not make its budget back.
It's such a terrible piece of shit.
Yeah.
It looks so bad.
So, Welcome to Raccoon City is a adaptation of Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2. I don't know why you decided to combine the two games, but okay. It supposedly follows the plots of both of them, but like it weirdly like starts to connect them for some reason, which is why I'm like, why would you connect them? Those two games do not connect at all, aside from just characters mentioning other characters.
You know, I feel like it's the same thing with Silent Hill. It's a director who like doesn't know much about the games and wanted to try something different.
At least the first Silent Hill film is like what, almost faithful. It's just from just going off by memory. I haven't watched the Silent Hill films, the live action films, in like ages. I remember the first one was like somewhat close. It's not perfect, It does a better job than the sequel, but
Oh god, the sequel. Remember when she summons Pyramid? When she summons
but
Pyramid
yeah,
Head?
suddenly Pyramid Head is like actually like a fucking guardian that she can summon.
It's like a fucking. He's like a summon from Final Fantasy or
Yeah.
some shit.
Like, yeah, I haven't, from what I've heard, because I haven't seen Resident Evil, but from what I heard, like fucking, like Wesker meets Birkin in this film.
What
Like,
really?
actually, like, RE1 Wesker meets RE2 Birkin.
What? Why?
And, like, Lisa Trevor, meets Claire. So Lisa from RE1 meets Claire from RE2. Like, it's just weird.
It's like, look at this. You got look at this. It's all your phase in the same place. Ooh.
Oh, and apparently there's a mid-credit scene in fucking, like, because apparently, as always, Wesker gets killed, but he's not actually really dead. Um, and someone gives him like his iconic sunglasses, because guys, it's his iconic sunglasses. And it's Ada.
Ada Wong.
Like nothing. Apparently, nothing about this film worked. Apparently,
Nothing about this film makes any sense, nor is it good. It's just
it's
like
like
it
why
looks. It looks
still
so
it
terrible
baffles
too.
me. Baffles me why they decided to merge two games together. It
You,
doesn't work.
you know what's funny
They're
too?
they are so different from one another, just in terms of like location, what the story is.
Like it's funny too because it's like they want. It's like they wanted to have. It's like they wanted to do different stories, so they just mushed them all into like the same movie. And what we get is like this really cheap looking shitty movie.
Yeah, and then just like certain weird liberties, like fucking like apparently Wesker and Jill are dating in the film. I'm like, why? Why does this need to be a thing?
Like you know what's worse though, right? What's infinitely worse than that? The Netflix adaptation. Oh my god, that is terrible.
Oof.
Like Lance Riddick is playing Albert Wesker, and he has like daughters, and it's about his daughter.
Yeah, Resident Evil can't get a break. Just really can't
That
get a
we
break, can
like
it?
this is why we can't have nice things, and this is why we can't have movie adaptations of anything. Because every time we get an adaptation of anything, it just turns into shit.
It's terrible. Which leads to your favorite show,
Oh god, I hate you.
Cowboy Bebop. That
Uh,
came out as well, and that got savaged.
dude, everyone hates
It
this
was weird
movie.
because like as soon as like the reviews came in from like kind of the mainstream reviews, and it was like, yeah, this isn't good. It's like, oh, this is strange because usually in a lot of these scenarios they would be saying it's actually good.
Yeah, even like, bro, even the fucking reviewers, even the reviewers who usually shill for this type of shit, hated this fucking movie. Hated this. I'm sorry, this
Yeah,
fucking show. Like
yeah.
everyone hated this piece of shit.
So
Oh my
I
god,
haven't watched it. I haven't watched it. I know you're
who is
definitely
this
not gonna watch
show?
it because I think when we at first like little like teaser came out, you're like, yeah, I don't want to talk about this. It's like okay, which is weird because you love cringe, and I feel
I
like
do.
this would be good for you, but you're like, nah, I'm not going into this.
I refuse to
Do you want me
like.
to talk about what happens? Because I haven't watched it,
Yes.
but I've watched a lot of people talk about it. Do you want
All
to know
right.
what they fucking do in this
Tell me that
series?
what they do in this shitty series. I
So,
don't even believe that.
you know Julia, Spike's girlfriend?
Yeah.
She fucking hooks up with Vicious after like Spike believes that she died or like something
What?
like that.
Why?
But it's played off as like she's more of like a prisoner. So like Vicious is like assaulting her, like choking her and like stuff like that. But once Spike and Vicious confront each other, Julia appears. It turns out she's this whole huge fucking master planner strategist. She she injures Vicious and then shoots Spike.
What?
Because she's angry at him that he never came back for her.
What?
Bitch. He thought you were fucking dead.
Why would he come back for you if he thought you were dead? Like, the whole thing about...
This made no sense that, like, they made her, like, in the Netflix series, they made her, like, she's the damsel, but then she's also the master strategist. Because then she takes over the syndicate.
What?
Because she's married to Vicious, she's like, oh, I can speak on your behalf now. Because she imprisons Vicious instead of killing him. Yeah, so instead of the Julia we get in the animated series, fucking, like, make her the villain.
We get, like, the thing about Julia was that, like, she was this, like, mysterious woman who you knew nothing really about. That was the whole point.
And that she may or may not, and she may or may not be alive. And, like, the closer Spike got, the further away she got.
Yeah, exactly. And when you do see her, she's basically this, like, tough as nails bitch who still is somebody that
she's supposed to be, like, it's not like, oh, there's Spike, Vicious, then there's Julia on the side. Like, they're, like, essentially kind of equal to one another.
Exactly. And now, like, Vicious is, like, her bitch or something. You know what this is, right? I'm gonna
Vicious. You think Julia suffered the worst? Vicious suffered the worst as well. They make him a fucking, like, whiny daddy's boy. As he has daddy issues.
What? That's not Vicious. Vicious is awesome. Why would you ruin Vicious like that? Oh my god!
He's so bad. And we're not even getting...
He's barely... The thing about Vicious is that these are supposed to be mysterious fucking characters that you don't know much about.
I think he's, like, in almost every episode. So you kind of ruin some of the point of, like, Vicious in his storyline with Spike.
You ruined his mystique. He's not supposed to be an overexposed villain. He's a character that, like, he's supposed to be mysterious and interesting. And the fact that you don't see him very much is what makes him interesting. Because you don't really know what motivates him. You don't really know much about what motivates them. They're not supposed to. God damn, I hate this shit so much.
I think they ruined Gren. I don't remember. I don't think they did not adapt Gren's story with Vicious. But how what was it like?
Oh yeah, Gren is, like, trans now, and then they said, oh, Gren is trans. He's positive trans representation now. Gren isn't supposed to be positive trans representation. He's not trans. Gren is somebody who was, like, unethically experimented on. That's what happened to Gren.
Because Vicious fucked him over.
Exactly. He was unethically experimented on. He's not supposed to be positive trans representation. Because he's not fucking trans!
Yeah. And he is a essential part to Julia and Vicious, their storyline. Because he knows where Julia is. And his history with Vicious. And apparently the Netflix series, he doesn't have any of that. He's just a jazz musician that works for Anna.
This is so fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's because, you know why? It's because it's 2021. That's basically why it is the way that it is.
Yeah, from what I've heard, the only person that's believable as their character is the one who plays Jet, who ironically was race swapped. He's the only one that actually feels like their character. From, like, a lot of people talking about this, I think it's almost unanimously agreed that Jet Black was the only good character in Netflix Cowboy Bebop because he felt close to the source material. Everyone else,
it's like they're not really the same character because it's not the same character because it's not the same fucking. It's so shit. Like, this is why I didn't want to talk about it, because I know it would make me angry. Like, cringe doesn't make me angry, but this makes me fucking angry because it's like, you took a show and then you basically like fucked up every fundamental aspect of that show that made it interesting and twisted it for I don't even know what reason. Like, why is Julia gonna say it, gonna do it, don't give a fuck? It's because it's 2021. That's basically it. It's because it's 2021 and we can't have, and like, because she's a woman, she has to be strong and smarter than all the men. That's basically it. That's why this is happening. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, and oh god,
I hate woke shit so much.
Faye is terrible in this series.
Yes, he is.
Have you seen that cringy line she delivers?
No, what is this?
When she saves Spike. I think there's a scene where like Spike and Jet are kidnapped or they're captured. She arrives in like her ship, like shooting down like some of the antagonists. This is legitimately a line she says in there. Welcome to the ouch, motherfuckers.
What? What the hell does that mean? What?
They were trying to be funny.
Welcome to
Doesn't
the
work.
Ouch. What the hell? What?
This is not something Faye would say.
Welcome to the ouch. What is this?
They ruin a lot of like Faye's character in this as well.
God.
She's definitely not Faye.
You know, she's like they
also changed how like was it fucking you know how Whitney in the series was like her boyfriend or something that conned her.
Yeah.
And like he left like a huge amount of debt on her.
Yeah.
They changed it. They changed Whitney to a woman, and she's a con artist that pretended to be Faye's mother.
Why did they turn her into a woman? Why?
I don't know why. There's a lot of things we can say about this. I think one of the worst. Have you seen the clip of Ed?
Wait, so Faye is gay?
Oh, I think they made Faye bisexual.
Why? Oh, because
Don't
it's
know.
2021 and everything has to be some fucking progressive bullshit. I hate this so much. I really do.
But no, have you seen the clip of Ed?
Oh my, where she goes, Spike or some shit like that. That was nightmare fuel.
Spike Spiegel. The thing is, I'm going to say there are characters you can adapt, and there are characters you can't. You cannot adapt Ed.
Ed is meant to be over the top and cartoonish for a fucking reason.
Because it works in an animated series. It does not work in live action. It comes off as like cringy like Comic-Con cosplayer.
It's like, oh my god, it's so.
No, so like
awful.
they made her hair spiky when it looks like that because it's messy. It's not because it's like that's how her hair is because it's spiked in that direction. It's like no, her hair is messy. Her visor isn't like some technical thing that makes like the technical noise when she like takes it off. It's like no, it's just it looks like that because of the coloring.
Exactly. Also, it's just a fucking pair of goggles anyway.
Just goggles. But yeah, the Ed thing was just so cringy. Like, I'm sorry, that's
oh my fucking god, that shit makes me so angry.
They adapted Ed too much. They were too faithful with adapting Ed, and that's the problem.
Like, so Ed is the only character they try to adapt, but the other characters, fuck that, right? Why is Whitney a fucking woman now? Why?
I don't know.
Oh, right, because it's 2021, and everything has to have some progressive bent to it. I fucking hate this shit so much.
Yeah, and like,
it makes me fucking angry.
So that yeah, they made despite the fact that a lot of people were giving praise for Jet Black, it gave him like a daughter, and that he got fucking cucked by one of his like old like police like co-workers. Like, what the hell? Why is this here?
Oh my god! Oh yeah! Now Jet Black is black. Yay!
Oh, did you see? That is another terrible cringy line. Did you see the blackmail line?
No, what is that?
So I don't know I can't remember who he was talking to, but Jet is talking to this woman, and he's like, "It sounds a bit like blackmail," and she's like, "That's correct because Jet, you are black and male."
What? What? What is this? What?
Somebody wrote this. Somebody wrote this. Welcome to the ouch, motherfuckers. Several other
Welcome
terrible
to
lines.
the ouch, motherfucker.
Somebody wrote these lines. Who did the screenplay? I don't know who did the screenplay, but who did the screenplay?
You know the same people
Should not be hired anymore.
You know the same people are going to be handling One Piece, right?
I don't trust Netflix with anything. When it comes
Nor
to,
do
like,
I.
anime.
Nor do
unless
I.
it's
nor do
unless
I.
it's animated, but even then, it sometimes drops off. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, Castlevania, but then when it comes to season 3, everyone's like, oh, it wasn't as good as the first 2 seasons, but.
You know what? Like, here's my thing, right? Here, like, I know that I think they said Oda is supposed to be involved in like the One Piece thing, and he's the one who.
Well, that's what they said about this one, but apparently the original creator wasn't. They just slapped that on there to. Fucking,
to give it legitimacy, yeah.
Yeah. Give it some legitimacy. It's exactly like Dragon Ball Evolution. It's like, oh yeah, look, Akira Toriyama's part of it, but they did not consult him at all. Which he said that was the case. They did not even bother to consult him. He is just there for name recognition.
And because they said that like Oda was the one who chose like each of the different actors who were going to portray like different characters and shit. And you know what? That might be true. That might be true. But I don't trust...
That might be, but he also already gave like certain races to those characters if they were real people, and some of them don't match.
Pretty much, and like I said,
unless that was like a joke thing that he does, because I know some that's just it was just like the joke stuff, the jokey or like trivia whatever stuff that he does like at the end of like volumes. So I don't know.
Like, here's honestly what I think. This is what I think right here. It might, like, Oda might be involved, but it's Netflix, and Netflix has, like, quotas and a way of doing things that I don't even know if it's Netflix. But after I heard, I don't know who it was, but I think it was the guy who was over it, say something like, Kamala Harris, like Luffy is like Kamala Harris. I was like, yup, I don't want to fucking see this shit. Because it's gonna be fucking awful.
One Piece is another series that you can't adapt. It's not possible. It really is not possible to adapt One Piece. Cowboy Bebop, you can to an extent, because it's somewhat grounded in reality. Like One Piece, it can't be adapted. I don't believe it can be adapted. I have no faith in the Netflix one.
Like I said, I just with One Piece. Like I said, Oda might be involved. He might be. However, it's Netflix, and the same people who made Cowboy Bebop are making One Piece. I'm sorry, the One Piece live action. So I don't really have much hope for it because, as I said, the same people are going to be involved, and we know where they turned Whitney into a fucking woman for some fucking reason. Like, so, I mean, I don't have much hope for this shit. Could I be wrong? Is that possible? Sure, that's possible. It could very well turn out to be something completely different. We shall fucking see. I hope I am wrong, to be honest with you. I hope I'm fucking wrong.
The unfortunate truth is that we're probably going to get a second season.
Why? Based on what?
Based on views, whether you liked it or not. A lot of people wanted either going to get people who don't know about Cowboy Bebop and just going to see it because it's something new on Netflix. You're going to get a lot of people hate watching it.
Did it really get that many views?
I don't know, but I'm going to say that's the case. I think that'll be Netflix's justification for another season. Look how many people watch it. Because it was on trending. It was in the top 10 trending.
Oh my god, for how many days?
I don't know, but it was in trending. Definitely going to get another season. unless they're smart.
Everyone hated that
Which with
fucking
Netflix, I
garbage.
doubt.
Everyone hated that fucking garbage though. Holy shit.
Yeah. So
We turned Whitney into a woman. So now we have LGBTQ representation. I bet you that's it. That's the only fucking reason why.
Whitney is a girl's name, so we made Whitney a girl.
Yay!
Oh, that's progressive of you. Only women can be called Whitney. Wow.
Just like only Asian people know the kung fu.
Yeah, we can't have white men doing kung fu.
That's racist.
Nah, yeah, it's terrible. It's bad.
It makes me
Watch
sad. Please don't watch it. If you do, just
Watch something good.
like watch.
I've heard Arcane is good. Maybe watch that.
Arcane is good. You would like Arcane. I
Even though I
have
don't care about League.
I have some issues with it, but like mostly it's good. Like, but there are some parts where it's just like feelings, where it comes off as like feelings in hallways. Though there are some of those.
The CW approach.
Yeah, feelings in hallways. My friend was just like, "Oh my god, you hate feelings." I'm like, "No, I do not. I hate feelings in hallways."
Such a tired trope.
Oh my god, seriously. Like, but other than that, it's good though. It's a pretty good. It's pretty good, I would say.
So that's good to hear.
Chris, I think you
So I
would
guess
like it.
we have one last thing to talk about. Santa Inc. Mainly what their main stars have been saying. So, do you know what Santa Inc. is?
It is it's one of those stop motion Christmas TV series things, right?
Yeah, so it's a 8-episode adult animated comedy miniseries.
Comedy. You
Um,
said
I was
comedy.
I know, funny, isn't it? It was released on HBO Max. It stars Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman as Santa Claus and Candy Smalls. The plot is that Sarah Silverman's character wants to become the next Santa.
Yeah, she wants to be the first female Santa for some reason.
Not only just female, but elf.
Oh
Elf
yeah,
Santa.
and all the elves are Jewish apparently.
Yeah. So it came out, and I think collectively everyone hated it.
Everyone still hates it.
Looking on like IMDb, it has a rating of 1.1 out of 10. No one liked it.
We found something people hate more than Cowboy Bebop Netflix.
That's hilarious. So how do you think the stars would respond to this?
Oh yeah, Seth Rogen called everyone white supremacists.
Yeah, so Seth Rogen went onto Twitter and said that the series is being reviewed bombed by white supremacists. It's like, what?
Like, okay, I assure you both that neither I am not white, Chris is only half white, mostly Asian, and neither of us are white supremacists.
He indicated that you can't take criticism well.
Like,
And then also becomes even more baffling with what Sarah Silverman says. Oh boy.
Oh my god, this is cringe.
Oh my god.
This is so much cringe.
She tweeted that now that Elf is now a new code for Jews, please enjoy all the codes for anti-Semitic shite on the web. Don't put a trigger warning on it since it's just Jew hatred. People seem okay with it.
Jew hatred!
What?
Dude, Sarah Silverman used to be such an edgy comic. Like, I remember she used to be so fucking edgy. And now she's this, like, fucking feminist Karen that complains about white supremacy and Donald Trump.
Yeah. Nice pair of tits, though.
That's true. That is true.
I don't mean to object a woman, but that's the only assets I care about.
Exactly. You know what?
I don't find Sarah Silverman funny,
If he
which
want,
isn't a shocking take anyone has nowadays. But
Sarah Silverman used to be funny. Now she's basically just an unfunny pair of tits. She does have a nice pair of tits, though. I will also say this. Unlike Chris, I don't give a fuck if I objectify her or not. She might as well just be a pair of floating titties and a slightly pretty face to me. That's basically it. Because Sarah Silverman offers nothing of value outside of her titties. Like, holy shit. Fuck this bitch.
But, oh god, yeah, oh god, this is exactly like when what was it, like Reddit or 4chan, like did the whole meme that like the OK sign is like means white power, and then fucking like gullible idiots took that and thought it was real.
And
That's like the same level.
And
like
now,
saying like, oh, elf is a new code for Jews. It's like it's anti-Semitic. It's racist.
and now we can't have fucking now whenever someone mentions elves in D&D, like you have some fucking
It's like, wow, racist.
Some Karen is gonna be like, oh my god, that's racist. Holy shit, you can't say elf. Like, but elves have always existed.
I guess we
racism.
have to cancel Will Ferrell. His film, Elf.
Elf.
I believe he called it that. Jew. Which is funny because like I think like the tagline was, because I replied to someone with that saying like, I guess this film is now problematic. You know what the tagline for that film was on the poster?
What's that?
For Elf, it's this holiday discover your inner elf.
Discover your inner Jew.
Discover your inner Jew. Like I am.
Goyim.
But no, this is wow. Celebrities being idiots. Which is funny. Did you hear about the other Seth Rogen stuff that happened like before this?
Oh my god, where he said like where he defended theft and shit.
Yeah, so like Casey Neistat, for those who don't know, popular YouTuber. I'd say he mainly does vlogs.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's known for. He does vlogs. Popular YouTube vlogger. He tweeted about how he had some stuff stolen from him.
Yeah.
And he was thanking the police department for helping.
Yeah.
And just oh, and LA is a terrible city. For no reason at all, Seth comes in. It's like, oh, I've lived in like LA for like this many years. It's actually a pretty good place. I don't know what you're talking about. And then then he goes on to defend that LA is such a good place. He adds that, oh, my car's been broken into 15 times. I'm like, you're not defending your point.
I think
you see how much of a contradiction that is? Saying, no, LA is a good place. I don't know what you're talking about. I get my car broken into 15 times in that place. Isn't that great?
I think Young Crip said something along the lines of like Seth Rogen left his comedy career in the car and it was stolen and not a thing of value was lost or something like that.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's just like
so fucking God, like Seth Rogen coming out with like the dumbest things ever.
Like, and so
just to be, it's kind of obvious coming from someone whose only shtick is that I smoke weed.
Pretty much, and that. Oh yeah, also the producer of Sausage, the creator and producer of Sausage Party.
Didn't they put that? I think
yes.
They put that in Santa Inc.
Yes, they did.
It's some kind of accomplishment. But the fact I think everyone agrees that Sausage Party is terrible.
It is a terrible movie unless you are stoned out of your mind.
Seth Rogen. No wonder why he thinks it's good.
Like, what's funny about that too? Like, it's basically so to go back to Santa Inc., right? It's a combination. It's like an edgy attempt at progressive humor. The problem is though that progressive humor inherently, in my opinion anyway, cannot really be edgy because of the way it works. Like, there's one scene where like the like what's the little elf girl that Sarah Silverman plays, like the little main elf, she says something like, I'm fit or something about her body like being better, and then her friend says, "Oh yes, it is," and he compliments her body and makes like a light flirtation, and then he says, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and then she says, "I consent," and then she says, "It's okay, I consent to your compliment," and I'm like, what? That's what it's like if aliens try to make a joke and it's so weird and isn't even funny. Like, what the hell is that? Like, that's the joke, is that she consented to his flirtation. And then there's some scene where where she's talking to a reindeer, and the reindeer said call yourself a bitch because bitch is empowering, and it's like, that's not funny. Like, that's just we like every joke is just, if you can call it that, it's just some weird like like weird progressive statement or something. Like, oh god, there was another one that I can't remember, but that's basically it. That's pretty much it. It's these weird it's like this weird attempt at trying to make progressive humor edgy, but you can't do that because progressive humor isn't edgy. It's for people who don't like jokes. And that's basically what Santa Inc. is. Also, everything. Also, they everything. If they can't make a funny joke, they just cover it up with a lot of cursing. Which I like to curse. I curse all the fucking time. But fuck ain't a joke unless you make it into a joke. It fuck by itself is just a word. It ain't no fucking joke. And this movie is not. I'm sorry. This show is not funny. It's just, I mean, the people who made the reactions of Seth Rogen are funny because everyone hates his show, but the show itself is not funny. It's just boring and filled with I guess humor along the lines of I consent to your flirtation. I guess that's supposed to be funny to
Yeah,
somebody.
it has 10-year-old humor with cursing and then just weird adult, not even adult, weird progressive humor. Okay, I consented.
I consented. It's just weird progressive humor, and I'm like, this isn't funny. I could just, you know what I could watch. I could probably watch, I don't know, Shang-Chi and get more entertainment out of that. That at least had one or two jokes in it that made me laugh, even if the entire movie itself was boring. It at least accomplished that. This show doesn't even accomplish anything. It's just, I mean, making fun of Sarah Silverman is funny, so I mean, I can do that.
Making fun of Seth Rogen is funny.
Exactly.
Haha, weed, am I right?
I like how that's the only thing he's known for is
I mean,
haha weed jokes.
I think I saw a post. He was like, uh, Seth Rogen smoked weed before attending the Adele concert. I'm just like, when has he never smoked weed? This isn't news. This is fucking common knowledge.
He again, he's the guy who made Sausage Party. You can pretty much guess what his humor is like. It's just haha. Yeah, it is. It's weird 10-year. It is. It's weird 10-year-old humor mixed with progressive humor, and it's just like it's awful. And Santa Inc. Not only that, but it also looks fucking awful. Oh yeah, and one of the reindeer complains about says something Santa will never let me be a part of his sleigh because I have a vagina or some shit. It's just what? I guess that's, and then she offers to kill somebody or something, and I'm like, she offers to kill one of the reindeer, so her friend can be like a part of the sleigh. And I'm like, who is this for? Well, I mean, it's for nobody because it got like a 1. So there you go. I guess I kind of answered my own question, but like Santa Inc is fucking terrible. Also, the Resident Evil film, the movie. You know what we should do? We should watch the movie to see how bad it is.
God, it's up to you.
Alright, fucking, you know what? Let's watch the fucking movie. I want to see how
Okay.
bad it is.
All right, let's see. I think same with Netflix. I think with Netflix Cowboy Bebop. I think the only thing I think a lot of people said is like, oh yeah, the guy that plays Chris looks like Chris.
Is that the
And that's
nigga
the
who
only
had? Is that the nigga who has like the goatee? That's Chris. That's the because there's this guy who I think is supposed to be Chris, but he has like he has like he's not clean shaven and he has like long messy hair.
And that's the one who plays Leon. Who, from what I heard, is not a good adaptation of Leon. In obvious looks and race aside, apparently he's just not Leon. You know how Leon knows how to use weapons?
Yes.
Oh, not in this one, apparently.
Oh yeah, I remember there was this scene. Where's the scene? Nerdrotics. Okay, let me see. Where's the first? Welcome to Raccoon City. Let me see here. There's a scene where the guy who plays Leon and the chick who plays Claire are like are in like a shot. They're like they're in a still. Oh, here we go. This is the scene. There we go. I posted it right there. One, that is not Leon, and she looks like Karen from Whole Foods. That was a joke that Nerdrotic made. I am stealing it because it is accurate. This isn't Claire. This is like Claire's mom's best friend who like takes her son to soccer. And her pool boy who she fucks on the side. These are not the characters. These are like, God, like, why is her hair this, like, this is awful. This is on a budget of 25 million. How is it that, like, I can get as much enjoyment out of, like, Kamen Rider, right? Out of, like, Kamen Rider, episodes. Which has a much lower budget than these movies, and yet puts puts so much more effort into the characters and the story than these people do, and they have like bigger budgets. I don't get it. Like, I mean, like, you look at Kamen Rider, it has a smaller budget, but it puts all of this effort into its character designs and, like, the stories to craft shit that, like, will interest you and what the hell is going on. And then you have this, and it's like, you have a bigger budget. Why is it this hard? I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I can watch... I don't fucking get it. Like, I watch Revise. I'm like, I like these characters. Like, they put effort into the characters' costumes. Like, even the villains like human forms look cool. And then I look at this, and it's just like, I want to die. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's so hard to make a decent show when you have a budget. It's not like I can understand, right? If they don't have a budget. But like, so you're going to cut corners and shit. These people have budgets. 25 million is a decent amount of money to make a fucking There are people who have made good movies off of less money. what is this? Fuck. I can watch this shit out of Build. In fact, I kind of want to watch it again because it's that fucking good. But then, like, and again, it has a lower budget. But they put effort into the costumes, into the story, into the characters. Like 001. It's bullshit that they killed off Little Assassin, though. I fucking like Little Assassin. But, like, out of the characters and the stories and shit, but no, we don't get that. We don't get any of this. We don't get any of that quality. We get bullshit like this. Look at this bitch. She doesn't even want to be here. I don't want to be here. Fuck. Man, fuck this shit. I'm fucking angry. That's why I hate. That's why I hate the fucking Cowboy Bebop discussion. I'm still angry about it. Like, holy shit. How do you have all this fucking money, man? Fuck. Can't even adapt shit. Can't even adapt a fucking video game. Like, holy shit. I'm gonna take my anger out on this movie.
But yeah. Terrible. Nothing but terrible. And that is a great place to end it.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for, I guess, Spider-Verse 2, which looks kind of okay.
Spider-Verse 2, and then also maybe Daredevil.
Wait, are they making a new Daredevil series, or...?
I don't know. They just... all they announced is that he's going to be back as the official MCU Daredevil.
So, like, does that mean that, like, we'll eventually get... So, does that mean we'll eventually get, like, the other Netflix characters, or no?
I don't know.
I hope we don't get another Jessica Jones, so that shit was boring.
Second season was. First was pretty good.
Okay, I've not seen the first season. Is the first season really that good?
It adapts her best story, and that's the problem. They adapted her best story, and then after that, they had nothing else to go with.
Oh, yeah, and then because she killed Purple Man, right?
Yep.
And that was her main villain.
Which is funny because he returns as like a hallucination, and that's like the only probably good parts of that season is when he comes back as a hallucination.
And that's like the only is that her only villain? Because I don't know much about Jessica Jones as a character.
Not, I don't know if Jessica really doesn't have villains. That's the problem. The only real one was Purple Man. That was it.
Is that why like the show sucked after he was killed?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because the only villain they had was her mom, who wasn't really a villain, but somebody who was like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Also, they didn't fight on that show, too, if I'm not mistaken, right? There wasn't much action.
Not particularly.
Was there, like, in Luke Cage, it's just like... Oh, yeah, she fought Luke Cage, right?
Yeah.
Luke Cage at least had... Well, I mean, Luke Cage at least has, like, a proper rogues gallery. He has, like, Copperhead and... Bushmaster, and I think he has someone named, like, not what is it? Not Rattlesnake. What is it? Fuck it, I can't
Something
remember.
like that, yeah.
But yeah, like, if we do have more characters coming from the Netflix show, just leave Iron Fist there. Like, no one likes Iron Fist. Show sucked. The actors sucked. Oh yeah, didn't they all team up together too? What was that?
Yeah, the Defenders, which was also bad.
Didn't they just fight ninjas or something?
They fought the Hand. They were trying to resurrect Elektra.
Was she
succeeds, and then she becomes the final antagonist.
Elektra Nachios?
Yep. She doesn't remember.
Oh, okay. That's why she's not evil.
Essentially did essentially their own version of like the Lazarus Pit.
Oh yeah, because the Lazarus Pit makes you insane every time you use it, right?
Yeah, they just did their version. I can't remember what it was, but it was essentially similar to that.
That just sounds boring and awful.
It was.
This is random. This is a random question, but I'm curious now. Have you read anything? I haven't been able to keep up with anything.
No, not really. I haven't had
Really?
a lot of time to read.
Uh,
Like the only time I read is just I've just been reading Dune. That's it.
oh, how did you like it?
I'm liking it. Yeah, I'm actually kind of close to where the 2021 film finishes. So I'm about halfway.
Oh, so like House Harkonnen and like it gets to.
It's the Freeman and all that. Yeah.
I really liked House. I really liked the design for House Harkonnen. How it's like really dark and like. I like how it's really dark and like mysterious and like when you see it, it's like really darkly lit and you can't see anything and everyone is like bald and white for some reason or like really pale because they look like aliens. They don't even look human. I love that shit. I'm sorry for that random tangent. I just wanted to talk about how much I liked House Harkonnen.
That's alright.
Anyway, I'm Corrupt.
I'm Chris.
Thank you for joining us on yet another episode of the Minorities Report. We'll be back probably next Wednesday.
We'll see.
And if we aren't, there you go. I don't know what to tell you. Last Wednesday we had shit going on and we didn't get a chance to like get together or like do anything because like I was busy and like I didn't have any time. Like Chris said like a long time ago, I believe. These aren't like because of our schedules, these won't be like consistently every week. We will try to make them every week or at least we will try to make them bi-weekly at the most, right? So, we will try to get you your content for Wednesday. If we can't, I'm sorry, but like things happen. If we can, then that's awesome because I like making this with Chris and I like delivering a weekly podcast to people to the listeners that we have, which is quite a few. I'm surprised by the fact that we have a small yet dedicated following. Anyway, so is there anything you'd like to say, Chris, before we go?
No.
Nothing to the audience there?
Particularly.
Alright. Well, anyway, thanks again. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.